Do you want a survival-friendly, resource-friendly cannon? Well, I'm telling you, this is not it, but I'm going to show you how to make a resource-friendly cannon that you can use in any PvP, factions, or survival. This is not it. This is a very unresource-friendly cannon. The one we're going to make is going to be such a doddle that you could do it in survival with absolutely no problem at all, and it still has massive destructive effects. Don't you go anywhere. I'm making it with you right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, and welcome to this other tutorial from me, Avomance. And you can see in the background the massive, nasty, horrible, sending it miles and miles cannon that we made a couple of episodes ago, and you'll see a link to that particular cannon up somewhere on the screen. You should be looking at it now. If you're not, it's definitely in the description below because I've not worked out how to put a link to it. But today we're not doing this massive cannon. That massive cannon took loads and loads of resources and it wasn't very survival friendly. Today we're going to do something that is significantly more survival friendly. In fact, you could do it in survival really easily, which means you could do it in factions really easily, or any other kind of PvP for that matter. And it is so simple as to be almost ridiculous. And this is what we're looking at. You can see it. This is it. This is our TNT cannon. It is flat to the floor. It has got almost no redstone on it. It is absolutely superb and it works brilliantly. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little crack at it. So we are going to hit this button and it's going to fire that bit of TNT all the way over there. Shall we have a go? Boom. There it goes. It goes up like that. Flies up in the air. Boom. And it fires that over there. Look. Bang. And it kills it. So we can maybe do a little bit more. Let's do another shot. Let's see what happens. Hit it again. Up it goes in the air. And it fires. Boom. And it's gone further. Brilliant. Or, if you want it to go just a little bit less far, you could just put maybe one bit of TNT in. Click it. Up it goes. Up in the air. And boom. It goes just a little tiny way. But it still explodes. Or if you want to do, I don't know, something in the middle, maybe you could use 3 or maybe even 4 TNT. Let's see what happens there. Let's fire that. It's waiting, it's going to go, quick, go up in the air, quick, boom, and that's gone, over there, somewhere in the middle. So it is adjustable in its distance. It's absolutely brilliant, and I think we better get on and make it. So what you're going to need with this particular build is 23 redstone, 1 redstone torch, 11 redstone repeaters, 1 normal piston, 2 sticky pistons, 10 slime blocks, a button to set it all off, 2 obsidian. You could also use furnaces because this is just an immovable object. I'm going to use obsidian because I don't have to kind of make sure it's facing in the right way, but you could use a furnace, that will work just as well. 2 sand, and then as much TNT as you want to play around with, which could be absolutely loads. Let's get on with it. So the space you want to dig out is 5 down and 7 across. You can see there with the coloured wall, it's really easy to count the blocks, and this is going to go 4 deep, and that's all the space you really need to be able to make this cannon. It's really compact. It is nothing like the massive cannon that I made the other day. This is much smaller and uses much less resources, although granted it doesn't necessarily fire quite so far or make as much mess, but it's still pretty good. Let's get on with it. First off, we want to go down inside this hole, and right along the middle line here you can see we are 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 from either side. Right in the middle line there, on the short wall here, we're going to take out 1, 2, 3 blocks. So just leave that block across there at the top. And in front of that, we're going to put a sticky piston facing upwards. And then we're going to come across here, and you can see we've got 1, 2, 3 from there, 1, 2, 3 from there. So right in that hole there, 3 in from the top and from the side, we're going to stick another sticky piston facing upwards. And on top of that, we're going to stick our slime block. Now we're just going to put 1 slime block on each so far. That's why we dug this hole out, because the slime block is going to go up and down and we don't want it to stick to these rocks. And we are eventually going to put 9 around this one, but just for now we're going to get 1 on there just to make our mark. But now we've got to get some redstone going. So first off part of redstone, we need to get an immovable object in here, and we're using obsidian simply because I can just whack it down and it is dead easy. Then we want to get 1 of our repeaters and face it into that obsidian block on 2 ticks delay. Then we're going to come across 1, 2, and we're going to stick another repeater here on 2 ticks delay. Then we're going to get a block, just any block, and I'm going to use just blue wool so as I can tell the difference. I know I didn't put that in the inventory, but you're always going to have a few extra blocks. And then in the middle of this, we're going to stick a little bit of redstone right in there, dead easy, and then the rest is going to come out there, and it's going to loop back right into this piston right there. So that's what the circuit looks like so far with both of these repeaters on 2 ticks. So now we've got to get another one of our repeaters, and we're going to stick it into that piece of redstone right there. We're going to put that on 3 ticks delay, not 2 ticks delay, 3 ticks delay. Then get another couple of blocks, one there and one there. Get some redstone dust across that and across that. And that just needs a little bit of power, and we should start to see this piston work here. So get the redstone torch, stick that there, bang, and look, that goes up in the air beautifully. We've got a good circuit going, and that's great. And what you'd find, this is how we can make a little kind of pulsar. So I'm not going to leave this button here, but just to demonstrate what it does. If I put a button there, we're going to make these go up and down really quickly. You just watch them. Bang. See, it makes a little pulse. Bang. We like that. So that's working exactly the way we want it. Now, the reason that we can't leave that button there is because we need to put another block right up here. And on that block, we're going to put a little piece of redstone, just like that. And then here, we're going to get our piston, our second piston, and we stick it right there, and that's got to go down. So that's flush, exactly like that. On top of that piston, we're going to put the 2 bits of sand. So let's get our sand, and we're going to put them there, bump, there, bump. So that is now nice and flush. It would still work with 1 piece of sand, but we're using 2 pieces of sand simply because it's a lot easier that way. It makes it nice and flat with the floor, and you don't end up with a horrible great big hole. And then we're going to get our other immovable object. So this is our last piece of obsidian. That is going to go there, and we need to get a repeater running into this slime block right here, into that, get a repeater, stick it there, and put that on 2 ticks delay. So that is the end of that part of the redstone. So now we have to build quite a bit of delay into this system. So we're going to get our block that we've been using. So I'm actually going to use this sandstone block because that will work perfectly fine as well. We're going to stick 2 pieces of sandstone block up on that, and on top of that we're going to stick a piece of redstone. Now we have to run blocks all the way around because we've got to link this bit here with this bit here. So let's get our blocks all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks. So obviously you need to use a number of blocks, and out of here we're going to use a number of repeaters as well. So this is where most of the repeaters come in. So we want to get a repeater there, there, and there. Then get a repeater there, there, and there. A repeater there, and a piece of redstone there. And we're going to get a block, stick it in that. Get a block, stick it in that. So those repeaters feed in there. The block feeds through the signal, through those repeaters, and the block feeds through the signal to that repeater. These repeaters here all have to be on maximum tick. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That is lots of delay in there. That one stays on a single tick because we don't need it to add any additional delay in there. That's absolutely fine. We're then going to get the same block that we've got that is part of the floor. I just happen to have it here. That's going to be that bit of sandstone there. And we're going to get a button. And this is where the button that actually makes it work comes into effect. And we're going to stick that on top just like that. So when we turn that button on, that turns that on. We get the delay signal going all the way through. Up it goes. The sand goes up. So that circuit works very nicely. Thank you. And we are so very nearly done right now. So we're going to stick our slime blocks all the way around this to make this a square of 9. Well, not there. There and there. There, there, and there. So that's really, really great. Then we're going to get the sandstone that we've got for the floor, and whatever floor you've got, it doesn't really matter, all the way around here. And that's going to complete the floor around those slime blocks. Like this. And we're going to come this way. Whoops, I can't drive. There we go. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 like that. And then we can fill in this bit as well because that's all part of the floor too. We want to leave a gap there, otherwise that's not going to give us anything to shoot. And we want to put a block right in the middle of that, because if you put a TNT block in that bit, it ain't going to work. And we now then need to ring around this entire system just like that. There you go. And that is going to give a really good signal and is going to set off the TNT whenever it gets thrown into the air. So we're going to test it without any TNT first, just to see that this slime block does fly up into the air. Let's see what happens. And there we go. That looks like that worked beautifully. So we are now just going to have to test it with some TNT. So this is the bit where we always get just a little bit nervous because if this goes wrong, I'm going to blow a blooming great hole in my contraption and it's not going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this button. What should happen is this TNT should get ignited, and just before it explodes, it should get thrown into the air. At the same time as this one being thrown into the air, this will explode and that will be shot all the way over there, probably around about 100-ish blocks, and explode when it lands. So this one's set up ever so slightly later, than this lot is. So should we give it a go? Let's see what happens. So that's been started. It all gets thrown up in the air. Boom, off it goes. And that went, how far did that go? So that went 10, 20, 30, 40, 55-ish blocks. Okay, so that's a little bit disappointing. That's not as far as I would have wanted it to go. So let's have another go and see whether or not we can make it go just a weeny bit further. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 in there. We're going to hit that button and we're going to see what happens. What's going to happen? Up it goes, explodes. No, it's gone in around about the same place. That's gone about 50 odd blocks, which isn't a disaster at all. I'm quite happy with that. It's a decent range. You've got to be happy really, haven't you? And it's made an even bigger hole. Look at the size of that. That's brilliant. So what you can do, you can make it go slightly less far if you want to, because you don't have to use all 8 of these TNT blocks. You could maybe just put 3 in there. So if we put, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3, like that, that will go ever so slightly less far. So you can change the range of your contraption. So that goes up in the air. That gets flown up, boom, and it goes a little bit less far. So you can see you can change the distance that your cannon fires just by putting less TNT on it. Now, theoretically, you could also build this up a little bit higher on a pedestal. Remember, that big one's on a few stilts there. And you could make that go a lot further because obviously it starts a lot higher. But ultimately, I think on the ground, for a relatively short-range cannon, that's not too bad. So now you have the choice, that blooming great big cannon that shoots miles and miles and miles and devastates everything, or this little cannon that's really easy to make, takes almost no resource and still explodes loads of stuff and is dead easy. Whichever one you want to make, you can make it now. Link for that one is in the description below for the big massive cannon, or you can just watch this one again. Why not? Tell your mates. It'll be great to see you in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this video. If you haven't hit the like button, it'll be awesome to see your thumbs up plastered all over the video, and if you haven't done it yet, you're very naughty, but hit that subscribe button. It'll be great to see you in the sub club, and I will see you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.